Hello, and welcome everybody to the Weebcastathon
Yeah, get the name right.
Where we're going on with it.
Yeah, we'll just roll with it. Just roll with it.
Where we finally have returned from a long hiatus.
When was the last episode? Was it 2 months ago?
It was a while ago.
Hang on, let's do the old little checky poos. Let's Twitch account.
Definitely been a while.
But things happen, you know. It's not like
we've
Life
all been
happens.
busy. We have been busy.
life, busy, sick sometimes, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It just happens.
It was less than 2 months ago, so that's something, I guess.
That's not so bad.
That's
Question mark.
They're used to it by now.
That is true.
Yeah, people expect it. It just happens when it happens, really, doesn't it?
Yup.
So I'm expecting we're all going to have quite long lists of shit we've played and watched. So, Kath, do you want to go first?
Yeah, can do.
Oh boy.
Have you actually opened anything up?
Yeah.
That sounds like a no.
Oh, put it all open here.
Go on then.
Let me just change it to date rather than name, because otherwise that's going to be confusing. Okay, shit that I watched.
Hooray.
I watched the Ni no Kuni movie. It was alright.
There's a movie?
Yeah, there's a movie. It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. I have purchased the games, but haven't gotten around to actually playing them yet. I've been meaning to stream them on my Twitch channel, but just haven't gotten around to it. It's basically where you've got two boys and a chick, and the one boy is with the chick, and the other boy kind of really fancies her. So it's kind of a bit of a love triangle, but they get drawn into like another world, and they've got to like save the girl's counterpart who's in this other world.
All right.
It's alright. It's very fantasy. It's like typical sort of knights and magic and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, gave it a 3 out of 5 on Anime Planet. I thought it was pretty average. Thought it was alright. Enjoyable watch.
I wonder if it's like based, like I wonder how much it has to do with the games.
I don't know because I haven't played them yet.
Yeah.
So anyone knows, let us know in the comments. I then tried A Lull in the Sea, and I ended up dropping it after like 2 or 3 episodes because it just bored me.
What's that one?
It's basically where you've got a bunch of people who can breathe underwater and they live underwater, and there seems to be quite like a class divide where some of the poorer people live under the water, and then you've got people above the water where these children who live under the sea go to school. And there's a whole thing of like them changing uniforms in schools and stuff, and that they can't wear certain things. I dropped it after like 2 or 3 episodes. I wasn't really bothered.
What the shit?
Yeah, that I've never heard that before. What's it called? A Lull in the Sea?
Yeah, I'm looking
A Lull
it
in the
up.
Sea, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up now. Carry on.
I watched all of season 2 of Beastars, which came out recently.
Oh.
I enjoyed season 1, so I was like, I'm definitely watching season 2. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Wow.
On Anime Planet. Yeah, quite enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty cool the way they kind of progressed a lot of the characters and stuff, particularly characters of Legoshi and Rui. I thought were pretty good. Yeah. I was a bit disappointed by how they left the season, because I felt like they probably could have done a bit more with Legoshi and Haru, but they didn't, so that was kind of that, really. But yeah, enjoyed it. And then watched From Up on Poppy Hill, which is a movie. It was okay. It was pretty average. Kind of, yeah, watched it. I don't really remember very much from it, so that probably explains that it was very average.
Yeah.
I don't remember much.
Yeah, generally that's where it works.
So yeah, that's kind of all I've watched.
Is that one of them Miyazaki films?
Yeah, From Up on Poppy Hill is Miyazaki.
Yeah.
It's Studio Ghibli.
Didn't you buy the Sakura bundle?
No, I didn't. I completely forgot about it.
Wop wop.
Completely forgot about it.
Rookie error.
I know.
You even
there we go.
asked on the Twitter
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
I even asked on the Twitter.
Yep.
I did ask on the Twitter. At Cathbait, by the way.
It's okay. Hey.
Plug.
No
you
cheeky plugs, you little bugger.
All right, and Ellis, what you been doing?
Oh, save me till last.
Okay.
Oh no.
Go on.
I hate everything.
You have no idea.
I haven't watched a lot. Lists 5 million things.
Oh, I've got my list this time is huge, but
Oh,
not because
no.
not because I've
Oh,
watched
no.
it. For actually the opposite. For actually the opposite reason. Anyway, go on, Scott.
Well, there was really only in terms of anime, there was only one I was just really into. But like I tried several other ones, but I couldn't really get into it.
Mm-hmm. So what did you try then?
So like I'll just say like two of them that I couldn't really get into is first one is The Day I Became God, or a God.
Okay, yeah.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's I had that on my watch list, and then I watched I think it was Gigux video on it, and then I was like, yeah, no, this sounds dumb.
Well, I remember.
Fair enough.
I think it's made by the director or whatever for like Angel Beats.
Yeah, and all those other ones. So it's a weird one, but it's like it's not a good weird like Angel
I never
Beats.
got on
It's
with
just,
Angel Beats, you know.
It's just bad.
So it had like a big. I had a lot of hopes for it, I guess. So like I started.
They were all dashed against the wall.
I mean, it was just like I assume it gets better like at the end.
Actually, it's the from what I've read, it gets worse.
Oh no! Because I watched like 4 episodes, and I just was like, "Do I click the next episode?"
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes
the answer is just no.
I just really wasn't into it. Maybe I'll return just to see what it is, but you know. But the one I was really into that made me keep watching was Kakashi Goto. And that one it's a 12 episode thing. It's not very long. And it's about a dad and his daughter, and he's trying to prevent her from knowing what his actual job is. And
yeah, I've heard about this, yeah.
And his job is being a manga artist.
Oh, okay.
So it's hilarious. It's very heartwarming, which is why I really liked it. And it's kind of got a little tiny bit of mystery at the start, kind of. You know, you don't really necessarily know what's going on. But I was super into it. I kept wanting to watch more of it. And I feel like at the end, it all wrapped up for me. So that was
nice.
one I really liked. Like, really liked.
Good shit.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
What was the other one that I... Well, this one I'm still like watching. This other one, Barakamon, about a calligrapher who fucks up and goes to some island to, you know, do his work in peace. It's actually actually pretty nice. I just haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
So there's that
Fair
one.
enough.
Yeah, that's really it for anime. I haven't been watching too much. Been too focused on like Final Fantasy 14's taken over some of my life a little bit.
Excellent. Yeah,
that'll happen. Yeah.
Do
you pay the subscription for that?
Yes, because it wouldn't let me do the free thing because I already had an account.
Lame. Yeah, I've been looking at getting into it, and I was just like, oh fuck, I used up my free trial, and I can't be asked to set up a new account with them.
I when I first played it, I didn't like it because I was thinking like a WoW player things where I gotta get to the end so fast. I need to go. But that's not how you're supposed to think with that game. So I changed my mindset, and I'm really enjoying it way more than I was before.
Oh, cool.
But I've been doing that. And then there's visual novels, which you guys already know.
What we got?
Playing through all sorts of stuff. One in particular, I've been like having to deal with a certain character in is King Koi.
Oh right, yeah.
It's great. But the character that I just can't stand, and it's like I'm being forced on. It's forcing her on me, and I.
Is this the this is the all blonde one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the all blonde one.
Right, who's the turd?
None of the blondes.
Oh right, okay. So it's not one of the romanceable characters then.
No, but I don't really want to say, but you know, she's essentially just a big bully, a passive-aggressive bully who doesn't like getting her hands dirty.
Right.
So she kind of like schemes and does shit to...
Oh, no one likes a schemer. Unless it's like, unless it's big play schemer. Big play schemer I'm all down for. Like, schemer just to be a dick is just like, you're just a cunt.
Well, like, it's because, the main character's a commoner or whatever, and she's like rich, big rich, lady rich.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone else in that school, and she's like, you shouldn't belong here in this school. But I was like, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to see if she gets better later down the line, and I got to a point where I'm pretty sure that she's not going to get better. Because they tried to win you over with, pardon my language, but they tried to win you over with her being horny all the time.
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of gone that character path where she's like really into, like, things happen where the MC is kind of, he's in like this... he got into a situation where maybe a threesome happened, and
did?
No,
maybe?
it did. It's just
excellent, good.
So that happened, and now ever since then, it was very much drug induced, essentially, as well.
Excellent. Okay.
And yeah, ever since then, that character's just been like, I'm so horny now.
Just a constant bang me thing now.
It's not even that. It's just whenever they're in the same room together, she just like flips out, and then it goes to her brain mind, and then she's like, man, my asshole's twitching.
I might have to. So I wasn't going to play this originally, but I think I might have to now. This sounds hilarious.
I mean, it's definitely more than what you would think it is from the cover.
Yeah.
Because, it kind of... People just get brought in from the, it's all blondes thing.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more than just that.
Oh, cool,
like,
okay.
The route I'm in right now, it's dealing with, the protagonist's past, and like it's kind of baseball PTSD is what I like to call it.
Right. Okay.
Excellent.
And I'm not really spoiling anything because he's like an ex-baseball person.
Yeah.
Like it deals with stuff like maybe there's a false pregnancy. Like you never see that in visual novels.
That is unusual. Yeah.
True.
So,
cool.
Like,
okay.
It's got a lot of stuff going on, and I really like it.
Oh, sweet.
And everyone else did too, because it keeps climbing the ranks of visual novels. So.
Oh, nice. Oh,
yeah.
Add that onto my list then.
And that's what I've been doing. That's my life.
Sweet. Any other new VNs you started?
No, but I'm going to here soon.
Oh, what we got? Are we going to get a sneak peek of what's coming next?
I want to start a visual novel called I don't know how to say it, but I think it's parquet.
Right.
I think that's how you say it.
How's it spelled?
Like Parquet.
Oh, parquet.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Parquet, yeah.
Okay.
As in, like, it's a type of floor.
Is it?
Yeah, parquet flooring. It's when you have like wood blocks, they arrange in like geometric patterns on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's the UK version. Although apparently also in North America, it also means the ground floor of a theatre or an auditorium, especially the orchestra pit. But yeah, that's what parquet is. I don't know if that relates in any way, shape, or form to what it's about.
I don't think it has anything to do with the game. But
who knows?
I want to play that one because but I thought the story seemed interesting, and this is kind of their first all ages affair that they're doing.
Oh, is it not a titty one? Is it?
Nope.
Ah.
And people are freaking out, being like, where's my sex?
Sometimes they're quite often more interesting, so you get a better story out of them.
Yeah, I don't need that sex in my game.
No, it's just, it's a nice bonus.
It is. But a lot of the time, the diddly just kind of gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it depends. It depends how they do it, whether it's tacked on or whether it's like actually a part of the story and they work it in.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing next.
Cool. Well, there you go then. Little sneak peek for you all. Okay, right. Well, prepare yourself to slide into a list of depression because
I'm ready.
I spent most of this last God knows how long attempting to watch multiple different anime and dropping them over, like dropping loads because they just did not click at all. Start off with, I tried Uzukichan after you mentioned it in the last podcast. I was like, well, I'll give it a go. No.
I mean, I didn't really think you'd like it anyway.
I can see it's not. I wasn't. I gave it like a 5 out of 10, or like 2.5.
Right.
But not because that's more like because I didn't enjoy it, but not because I think it's actually bad. If that makes sense. Like I can see why people would enjoy it. I can see the art's good. Everything about it is good. It's just the actual content just wasn't
your thing.
Wasn't my bag. But I managed about four or 5 episodes of it, and it just got a bit irritating, to be honest. The characterization of the story is just not my bag, but I can see why people would enjoy it. I then tried Myriad Colors Phantom World. That was fucking garbage.
Tell us how you really feel, Alice. Jesus.
Oh, no, that was start triggering.
Oh yeah. We got a fucking garbage train coming up. Honestly, I got like most of these are 2s or 1.5s. They were that bad.
I realize Ellis just hates everything.
I got
genuinely.
plenty. Most of my watched animes are quite highly rated. In fact, I do have a series that I did enjoy, but all of these were were terrible.
God damn it!
So I can't. I don't remember this one. That's how bad it was. Like, I don't remember a single. I'm rereading through like the little description thing, and it's just like bouncing off my brain because I think I just blanked it from my memory because it was that bad.
But come on, there's waifus and stuff.
No, nothing high class.
Not enough to save him.
No. So think of another one which is waifus and stuff. So I tried Stupa HX Eros, another one of those ones where fondling powers people up. The weird
Fondling powers people up.
Yeah. It's
again, mate.
There's a weird subgenre of anime to this sort of thing in. But normally they but normally they have some of them have like top tier waifus. So I thought I'd give it. I think High School DxD.
I guess.
I gave it a go. Yes. It was shit. It was properly. There was nothing good about it. The characters were garbage. The animation was garbage. It was just a pile of arse.
Hate everything, don't you?
Oh, it was just
that's
crap.
The worst when you hear the animation. Even the animation.
Yeah, even the animation was fucking terrible. It was just all in all crap. Don't even waste your time for a laugh. It's just not worth it.
Gonna watch it for a laugh.
So I tried to carry on with Dr. Stone Wars. So I watched the first the first 2 cores of the first season. I tried the second one, and it was just, I didn't enjoy it. just sort of bounced off me. Don't know
That's
why.
one I've had on my list.
So I got 6 episodes in, and then I got bored, and then I just sort of looked up what happens at the end of the season. I was like, oh yeah, I could see that was coming. Cool.
I saw this from a mile away.
Yeah, and then like nothing really happens. Sort of does, but sort of. I won't say anything, obviously, because spoilers and all that. But yeah, it was just a bit. Nothing wrong with it. It's still Dr. Stone, so the art and everything else is really good. The animation's good. There's nothing technically wrong with it. It was just I found it a bit dull.
Mm-hmm.
Fair
And
enough.
now we go on to one which does have technically wrong stuff. Magical Warfare. So I tried that, and it was shit. Properly shit. Like 1.5 out of 5 shit. Characters, again, another whole shebang. Characters, fucking awful. Like, one-dimensional, cut-out, cookie cutter, as generic as you can possibly get whilst making generic bad somehow.
It does have a 2.7.
Yeah, I know.
Wait.
It was bad. It was just bad. Don't watch it. So one that I did sort of enjoy, but I dropped 'cause I lost interest, was Heavy Object. So like
Right.
the
Wait,
war
what?
thing,
That
but
sounds familiar.
yeah. So it's a war series where they have like these gigantic weapons called objects, like huge, like basically like fortresses on tracks, basically. And
Okay.
sort of
Yeah,
war
I
has
remember.
completely changed. So it's because these things are so incredibly powerful, that basically war has now become object versus object.
Right.
Mhm.
So people rarely die apart from the pilots and everything else, because no one bothers using tanks or planes or anything else, because the objects just annihilate them all. And it sort of has this thing where these two people keep getting called, like destroy an object basically almost by accident, and then they keep getting called in to keep destroying objects. But it's 24 episodes. I managed to get to episode 8, and every single like mini arc was the same. It
Oh,
was,
really?
there is this object, they're fighting another object, they're in this situation, these two people are called in to go and destroy the object. Rinse and repeat ad infinitum. So it's like,
Sounds like there's not a lot that could be done with that
yeah, so
premise.
yeah, exactly. That's the problem. They sort of made this premise, and then rather than actually change, like, even though the big thing was like, oh my god, this is going to change warfare, humans can destroy objects. Nothing changes apart from the fact those two guys keep getting sent to go and destroy objects
Oh.
in more and more ludicrous ways that make less and less sense. It's like basically they do it through happenstance every time. It's like it's just blind luck.
That sounds a bit
Oh.
lame.
So yeah, it's all got a bit like there's nothing wrong with the execution. It was just just got a bit boring.
And we got Samey.
Yeah, same exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you give it a watch if you want. If you like big weapons and war and stuff like that,
Big
you might enjoy. I know some people enjoyed it from our Discord, from our anime and manga channel. I know the people in there recommending it. Bounced off me, but
Mhm.
you guys might enjoy it. I gave 7 Deadly Sins: Dragon's Judgment a go, the new series, and I watched.
That-
I got halfway through the first episode, and the animation was so fucking terrible, I dropped it.
Oh no!
Ouch.
Don't.
But you like
Wait.
7 Deadly Sins.
Well, so they changed studios, I think, or something like that last
Oh,
season.
No. Wait, that's not. Wait, is this worse than season 3?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
How do you get worse than season 3?
It's abysmal.
Apparently you do.
It's utterly abysmal.
What the fuck?
The characters have gotten uglier somehow. I don't know how they've managed it, but it's gotten worse.
Oh,
How'd they
that's
do that?
sad.
Yeah, it's a real shame. So it's very rare that I watch a modern anime, and the art is so bad that I drop it just out of the fact that I can't watch it because I think it's that ugly. And this is one of those where I was like, it's horrible.
That's depressing.
Yeah,
That
I
is
was
pretty
really
bad, yeah.
I was really disappointed.
Because like the story of it is,
Yeah, it's just gotten to the really cool shit.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, at some point I'll just read a plot synopsis and hope that they redo it with another studio at some point and do like a remake, because it's ghastly, to be honest.
Time to get the manga.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I tried Planet With, which is a more recent mecha one with sci-fi war thing, and it was terrible. It's just
Oh
terrible.
dear.
Just
Alice.
terrible. I tried Chica the Coffin Princess, which sounded like it had a really cool premise. So it's basically this random girl who is carrying a coffin around with her constantly.
Oh, Gungrave. Let's go.
Yeah, similar looking thing. And sort of there's a mystery behind why she's doing that and why people are after her, etc. Problem is that the characters are all boring. So that just kind of kills
He's
all
so
the.
scathing, isn't he?
It kind of kills all the interest. It's like, well, this is just boring. So I dropped that. Technically, nothing wrong with it. Just I've got bored.
All
Has
right.
it just become tradition for you to just hate on so much stuff now?
Well, it's because
he's our critic.
it's because I've been waiting for a lot of the big shows to be finished from this season to be finished dubbing. I've been going through my sort of back catalogue of stuff that I'm not that particularly interested in, but I've added it in there just on the off chance it might be interesting.
Right.
This is why I've got a big laundry list of stuff that I haven't enjoyed, because it's all just, basically flinging shit at a wall and seeing what stuck. And none of it stuck so far. So I tried Hybrid X Heart, Magius, Academy, Ataraxia. Jesus, what the fuck is with
What
this?
the shit?
It's another one based on a light novel, so
Why
the
have
title's
they
gonna
always got such stupid names?
blame light novels? I don't know.
Yeah, the light novels get kind of crazy with the titles.
Yeah, so this is another one of those ones where, like, it's another one of those power up with fondles, and again, the waifus were not worth it. The characters were all shit, and half of them were really annoying. That. So that was just a drop, and the animation wasn't particularly great, and especially on this one, if I remember rightly, the sound was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Like not the voice acting
specifically for this show,
but yeah, specifically for this show, the sound effects and stuff just did not match what was going on screen. It was all like,
that's weird.
it was nowhere near enough, if that makes sense.
So like it wasn't impactful enough?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just didn't have there's no oomph to it at all. So one that I was curious about, which I didn't drop through any fault of its own, it just didn't click with me, was We Without Wings, Under the Innocent Sky, based on a VN. And it's meant to get really super interesting later, but I just could not get through the opening few episodes to get to the point where it gets interesting. I just got bored. But I can see how they chop and change. It's like one of those ones where they chop and change between the three main protagonists from the VN and the three couples. And then it slowly but surely sort of it all worms together of how they're all interlinked and woven together. But the stories are so disparate and everything, it just kind of lost me part of the way through.
Aww.
Maybe the VN's probably like way better.
Yeah, so I got intrigued by it. So I was like, I wonder if the VN's been translated. It hasn't. So
damn.
Yeah. And then the final one that I've dropped, which I was really disappointed by, because this is one of the ones I was looking forward to, was I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
It's really bad. Just nothing happens. It's really fucking boring. It's just literally like, person has leveled up loads because she's spent 300 years killing slimes. Strong person comes to fight her. She beats up strong person with one move, which is OP.
Every isekai ever.
Then that person then goes, please teach me. She goes, yes. Then another strong person turns up. She beats him or her with an overpowered move. They go, teach me, please. She goes, yes. I think you can see a pattern going here, and that's the entire series.
Ouch.
Yeah, so
sounds like hell.
yeah. Also, especially for this one, this is one of the ones where the dub was also pretty shit as well.
Oh,
it wasn't very good.
You had to mention the dub.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, this is one of those ones I was waiting for the dub to finish.
Oh, and then you
then it was lame, and I was like, oh. So I've been had a bit of a downer, but luckily the last two things I've watched have brought it back.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, no, we're on the up and up now. So I watched the Broken Blade movie series. There's 6 of them. It's like another sort of mecha war thing from 2000 and
I'm looking it up.
2010 to 2011. Genuinely, really quite good actually.
Oh my god, he liked one.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. Like this is another one where the sound effects weren't great, but there was a reason why. It makes sense within the context of the weapons they're using. But I think they could have done more with it. So they use like pressure guns, so it's like they use magic to like compress air and then shoot out projectiles. So obviously all the weapons are sort of like. You probably can't even hear that.
So it's not supposed to sound crazy.
So they're not supposed to sound crazy, but even
Basically,
so, like
it just sounds like a slight cheeky fart.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. I was kind of hoping for something a bit more, but no, all in all, like the characters are really cool. There's a good like back and forth between looking at both sides of the war. Unfortunately, right near the end, it did get to a bit of bad guys are bad because they're bad, and doing bad things because they're bad. Whereas the start was a bit more sort of was more like a lot of the other sort of war focused animes that I've watched, where there's a lot more nuance to it, and you can sort of understand their actions and things by by their culture or the difference in the countries or whatever. So they had that to start off with, and then it sort of degraded into just bad guys are bad.
Where it's like, who really is the bad guy?
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of a bit of a shame because, so for example, it's an old thing, so I'm not too worried about spoilers. But so, for example, one of the enemy pilots they destroy the mech of shoots herself, commits suicide inside a mech rather than being captured, and screams out that their enemies are barbarians. And you basically find out later, later on down in the movies, that the reason why is because they're taught that from back when they had a previous war, that they went on a mass killing spree of innocent civilians, around the border areas.
Right.
But that's not true. But that's what they're taught to them. So then you see why there's so much hatred back and forth. But all of that stuff then sort of gets lost in the last two films, and it becomes more just like pew pew smash smash. It's a bit of a shame, but
budget ran out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but it doesn't. But it was still a good watch. It kept me throughout the entire thing. Some of the action sequences is pretty cool. Yeah, it was a good laugh.
All right,
can't complain. And I am part way through. Oh, where am I? It's episode 15, 16 so far of the Spider anime.
I heard that one's really good.
I've been really enjoying it. So I heard a lot of back and forth between people who just watched the Spider stuff and didn't like all the stuff with the human characters, because basically a full class isekai.
Yeah.
But I actually, because if you're not a dumbass, it's quite easy to work out the part of the way through that you're looking back in time for the Spider stuff, and you're ahead of time for the human stuff, and it's basically they're running parallel to each other, and then they're going to meet up part of the way through, and you start to get gist of what's going on in the human stuff as how it's related to the stuff with the Spider.
Okay.
And there's little the further in you get, the more little hints and things you see that link the two together. The CGI animation for the Spider stuff can be a little bit ropey occasionally. But apart from that, the voice acting is brilliant. The ending song for the second half is fucking brilliant. Really enjoy that. Once, it's a very rare thing for me to actually enjoy an anime ending or opening, but the ending for that one is it's really, really quite funny.
Yep.
The characters are cool. I like the human stuff's the characters are a bit cookie cutter, but I've just gotten to a particular point where shit started to derail. So I'm kind of looking forward to see on the human side. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where it goes with that. But I've been really enjoying that. That's all the anime that I've been through. So there's been a lot of disappointment. Okay. But the good news is that a lot of the ones that I have seen that have been well reviewed and that I'm looking forward to are all about to be finished for their dub. The last episodes are being dubbed. I think they're probably coming out this Sunday. So
yeah, I should have some too.
Yeah, I've got a good few, which I'm really looking forward to. How much some of the Demon Lord still going, but there's Combatants Will Be Dispatched. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah.
Full Dive, this next gen Full Dive RPG is even shittier than real life. That looks fucking hilarious. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, that looked pretty funny.
And Vivi especially, that looks so cool. Can't wait to watch that. So yeah, there's a good few coming up, and I'm holding off on watching Scarlet Nexus because I'm still playing the game. But that looks really cool too.
Oh yeah, they did make an anime on it.
Yeah, it's still been released. But yeah.
Yes.
So games wise, yeah, Scarlet Nexus has been my thing recently.
Now I'm gonna ask, since we know you hate every anime opening of all time, what was the best one though out of everything you watched?
Out of everything I've ever watched?
No, not out of everything you watched. Just now, in this list that you just listed.
Oh, what opening wise? I don't remember any of them. I skipped them all basically.
God damn it.
I don't remember a single one at all.
Oh no.
I remember the ending songs for both the cores of the Spider anime. They're not the first core one is I don't like it, but it's funny and it is entertaining and it's fucking mental. So I got to give them props for that. The second one's actually got some genuinely some decent riffage. So
but I want openings.
Sorry, none have caught me.
Gosh darn it.
But yeah, so I've been playing Scarlet Nexus. Highly recommend.
Is that a sequel to Code Vein or is it something else?
No, it's not a sequel to anything. It's its own standalone thing. And it doesn't play like Code Vein because Code Vein's more Soulsy.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't like it, so I ended up stopping. But no, I would say it's closer to Final Fantasy VII Remake style combat. if you've played that, or like that sort of ARPG type fighting, like Nier Automata and all that sort of stuff. So fast, fluid. The powers are fucking great fun. Like
like the more sort of hack and slashy style.
Yeah, and like yeeting trains into people is always fun. And like
yeeting trains.
Yeah, trains, cars, you name it. The powers are really fucking cool. They make it well worth it. So I think I'm near the end of Yuito's part of the story, and then I'll go back and play Kasane's side. Also, Kasane's a total babe. Just saying.
Oh boy, we got waifu material.
Yeah, there is some serious waifu material in there. Also, you can give them cat ears and tails.
Yes.
As visual additions. So of course I instantly did that, because why would you not?
Be done. It's illegal not to.
Yeah, exactly. And I also have been did sort of start-ish a VN, so we're playing a bit of Sakura Dungeon as well. So I did get the Sakura bundle. It's very silly.
It is.
And it has, as far as I can tell, it's got basically no story at all. All you do is just beat up sprites to get them naked. And
pretty much.
But it's kind of entertaining. It's just good for stick a show on in the background and beat some titties out of people, quite literally.
It's the spiritual successor to Demon Master Chris.
Is it?
It's basically the same game.
Oh right, fair enough. But yeah, I've been playing through that a little bit. I still need to start making lovers. I say this every episode. I think I've said this every episode since we've started. But making lovers is still on my list when I get a moment to spare to actually sit down and play it. But yeah.
And then I'm gonna harass you to play Grisaya.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, it's on the list.
It's on the list. It's on the list. I promise you. The problem is that I think by the time I actually get around to that, Karakara 3 and Sunrider 4 are probably going to be out, so I'm gonna be distracted by those.
Centuries from now.
Yeah.
Oh, Karakara 3 is almost done. They're finishing off the final bits for the edit, according to.
I was mostly thinking of Sunrider.
Oh, Sunrider's going to be a while. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
though.
I can't wait for that. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Is that all the things we did?
Yeah.
Looks like.
So now it's time to move on to our topic of the day, which we did say we'd talk about at the end of the last one. Which
Topic of the week.
No, well, like month and a half, but yeah, sure.
Topic of the podcast.
Yeah, that's better. Let's not put a time frame on this.
Topic of the podcast.
Yes. Nice. We got a little jingle as well.
Yup.
Anime movie adaptations.
Oh boy.
So I know there are strong feelings on this.
Yes.
But I have some contrarian takes on it. So I'm going to wait till the end till the other takes have been given, and then I'll drop mine, because I think it'll round up quite nicely.
But you might drop in and then walk out.
yeah, exactly. So who's gonna go first? Like, okay, let's go this way actually. Kath, what adaptations have you actually watched?
I've watched a number of them.
Give me like the most memorable ones.
The most memorable? What, for being terrible?
No, just the ones that you remember, like that stick out to you the most, for either being good or bad. Either way.
Death Note.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah. Don't even get me started, mate.
Yeah.
Is that the Netflix one?
Yep.
Right. Just give a list quick, and then you can go through roasting them. But just give people a rough idea of the ones that you've watched.
Death Note. I've seen the Japanese versions and the Netflix adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Brain activate. Come on, Shingeki no Kyojin. So Attack on Titan. I've seen the Japanese versions. I don't think there's an English version.
No, there isn't.
Full Brother Alchemist. I've seen
Full Brother Alchemist.
Yeah.
Full
Metal Alchemist. Brotherhood.
Full Brother.
Full Brother Alchemist.
That's the
Metalhood.
porno version. Oh, step.
You're cutting out, but yes. Oh, step bro, indeed.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. What else have I seen? I've seen so many, like Black Butler.
So you've seen most of the big ones then? We can go with that, yeah?
Yeah, I've seen probably most of the big ones.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Scooter?
I've mostly like watched a lot of the like Western takes on like anime stuff, like the Dragon Ball Z movie. We don't talk about it.
Yeah, I'm guessing Death Note as well, yeah.
and the Death Note Netflix one.
What
But I
about?
also remember the prison school one.
Battle Royale.
No, it's just this prison school.
Yeah, Battle Royale's not an anime.
It's
No, but it's a manga.
It's based on the manga anime. It's pretty. I thought that one was pretty good, but I don't know. But I haven't watched really too many of them. I did want to rewatch the ones I did go just to refresh my memory a little bit before we got to this point.
Yeah, Battle Royale doesn't count, by the way, because it comes from a book, not a manga. It was an actual novel first.
My bad.
So I haven't actually watched any.
Really?
Oh boy.
No, I've never watched them. I'll give a reason why. But I did end up watching...
Because they're shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
I did end up watching a film by accident that actually has come from a manga. And that was and that's The Great War of Archimedes.
Oh.
So have you seen, if any of you guys have seen, like, Imitation Game... or sort of any of those sort of maths-based like type films where it's, you know, like a scientist or a mathematician or something like has to work through a problem in a ridiculously short space of time, you know, and all the trials and tribulations that comes with that. This is basically the same, but about trying to stop the creation of the Yamato before World War II starts.
Okay.
So the big fuck off battleship.
Oh yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
And so basically, the people who designed this ship put in a ridiculously like low quote for how much it's going to cost, and so they find a really clever mathematician to try and like basically reverse engineer without having any blueprints or anything. Reverse engineer what the actual rough cost of making the ship would be, to try and like scuttle its production, because they think it'll start a war. Because they think it'll start war. It's a bit of like Japanese revisionist history. They do it quite a lot with some of their stuff, where they like that. Remember that anime that I told you about a couple of episodes of, the Konpeki no Kantai, where like Admiral Yamamoto comes back to try and like lose the war in a better way because he knows it's a bad idea. They sort of play off that sort of school of thought where, like, you know, there were good people in Japan who thought war was a bad idea, you know, to try and soften the blow a bit of how bad they actually were and the fact they started it. So there's a bit of revisionist stuff in it, but overall, the film's fucking great. I highly recommend, if you guys can find it somewhere, watch it, because it was brilliant. Really well acted, actually like laugh out loud funny in some places as well, because the mathematician's like a proper nut job.
Okay.
It looks like it's on Prime Video.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So yes, highly recommend you guys watch it. Very, very good. Did enjoy. So that's the only one I've actually seen that is like an adaptation from a manga or like an anime or anything like that, and that was completely by accident. So yeah. So
all right.
Your takes then. Who wants to go first?
They're mostly awful.
Yeah, I just want to know why are most of them bad?
Right.
Like, why does this happen?
I have theories. I have theories
Okay.
behind why they're so bad. So, first of all, I think that this is all opinion, by the way. I've got no facts backing this up whatsoever. But I have a hunch that these live action films are not really designed for you or Kath or I or other people who actually
probably not.
who watch the original material. I think it's more of a gateway for other people.
Yeah, but they know that the main people who are going to be more likely to see it are going to be the people who've seen the original material.
Yeah, I know, but if they were going to do that, they'd do a Lord of the Rings. They'd, you know, put a huge budget in it, make it, you know, really proper top notch. Because the problem is that when you're trying to adapt something like a manga or an anime, especially one that's heavily combat focused or something like that, the reason why that sort of stuff works in the sort of the cartoon, in inverted commas, like hand-drawn format, is because it's all so ludicrous and completely breaks any form of physics and scale of real life. You try and do that in a realistic setting, it becomes almost
I would argue with that.
How?
Sorry. Look at things like The Matrix, which are very much based on things like Ghost in the Shell and Akira.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your point being?
They're able to do those massive martial art things and alternate reality shit in a movie.
No, it's different. You're on a different scale. You're on a different. It's a completely different scale of ludicrousness.
I don't know.
No,
Matrix is pretty out there.
Dude, Attack on Titan, they have 2 fucking spear launchers that fire from their hips so they can Spider-Man around.
I mean, they're not spear launchers, but okay.
Harpoon launchers, whatever. Like,
that was actually.
Like, that wouldn't work. If you fired off one of those from your hip, it would A, break your hip, and B, send you spinning uncontrollably off in whichever direction you fired it off at. It wouldn't work. It would never work. Also, how would you reload it? How would you reuse it?
Well, you do see them reload it and how they do it in the
But also,
anime.
it's like, what, the size of their leg? So you coil up rope about the size of your leg, it would probably go about 5 meters. At most.
Well, it depends on what's in it.
No, because it's got to be rope. You got to hold the human's weight.
We're not talking about something that's based in fucking reality here.
That's what I'm saying!
Yes, I know, but what I'm saying is things like the Matrix are not based in reality.
No, they're based in like cyberspace, but they're set in a realistic environment. Bear in mind, the whole point of the Matrix is that you're in a cyberspace which is identical to day-to-day life, and these guys break it. And even then, when they break it, like if you think about all the like the wire work and all the martial arts and stuff like that, which when they're breaking it, it's all done in slow motion.
That's yeah.
And then you look at Matrix 2, when they did it all fast.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And it looked terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't look nearly as
It looks awful because it all has to be CGI'd, and the CGI wasn't good enough, and the CGI is still not good enough now to pull off stuff like that unless the entire film is CGI. I bet you if they did a full CGI film,
Oh boy.
it would be.
Oh, another one that I want to bring up. Ghost in the Shell.
No.
I think that compared and Netflix's adaptation of Death Note are like 2 of my biggest gripes recently. Of
Wait, did we? Is that the new movie?
Yeah, it was Scarlett Johansson.
Oh god damn it!
So Ghost in the Shell, I absolutely love source material. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's banging. Motoko, yes please. She is queen. However, just the way that they tend to I think the difference between the way that obviously places outside of Japan handle stuff that is originally Japanese, they struggle so much to try and make it more relatable to a Western audience.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, well, that's because they shouldn't do that. But the point,
they shouldn't do it.
No, but they need to get execs to
But
sign
I
off on
think
it.
the thing that fucked me off the most with, for example, the Ghost of the Shell adaptation is that they completely changed Major to a point where her name wasn't Motoko Kusanagi. However, she went to visit the mother of the person that she was originally designed from, and her name was Motoko, and it was just so fucking confusing for the people who... Yeah. It was so confusing for the people who had obviously grown up with the original content.
Yeah.
For it to then be put into that way, it was just weird. And then you have the token Japanese guy in it, and then everyone else is just white. Whereas it's based in fucking Tokyo, for Christ's sake. What are you doing?
We're all white people here.
This is why I think that I don't know if maybe it's something to do with the way they get licenses or something, but I have a hunch that they are, like, especially for the Western side anyway, because a lot of the Western adaptations I know from being told and reading stuff, that they've been changed dramatically from the originals. I'm not sure if it's part of the licensing agreements that they can't replicate it in its entirety, and it's got to be made different, partially to soothe the movie execs' fears about making something Japanese for a Western audience, but also because, again, though, if it draws new people to the franchise, then the way I see it is it's not too different. You get those one core seasons which are to advertise for the light novel.
Right.
There are plenty of them where there's only one season. There's only ever going to be one season because the whole point is they brought it out when the LN started getting popular to then bring more eyes to the LNs. That's all they're there for. It's literally just a big fuck off advertising piece. And that's the way this is the way I personally see. This is why I never watch them, because I see those live action adaptations as just a big advertising thing for people to say, look at the LN, look at the anime, look at the manga. This all exists. Because the thing is, they've got to condense down quite often so much material into just 2 hours. You know, quite often they're
Then I'd rather them just. Well, you say that, but Ghost in the Shell, the movie. That's what they were trying to adapt, as far as I'm aware.
I'm not saying all of them, but quite a lot of them are adapting 2 core series. So that's 24 episodes at 25 minutes an episode into an hour and a half to 2 hours on a tight budget.
It's like when they do that with visual novels.
Yeah.
When you try to take that and put it into
an anime, exactly. Yeah, and it quite often doesn't work.
Issues.
Yeah. It's the classic adaptation issue where if you're going to adapt something, you need to take a smaller slice, and the main thing is you need a fucking huge budget to do it properly. Because you're recreating someone else's vision that has already been, especially there's one that's already been visualized as well by artists. You've then got to recreate that vision almost frame by frame in your film. And if you don't, all the fans are going to poke holes in whatever you've done because you haven't done, this uniform particularly right, or this badge in the wrong place, or this town doesn't look quite right, or the roofs aren't perfect, or
didn't do your research.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fucking hard. And if you look at maybe apart from Ghost in the Shell, which is one of the odd ones out, but a lot of them, their budgets are biblically small in compared to some of the big film adaptations that have been successful, things like Lord of the Rings and all that sort of stuff where they've adapted.
The one thing I've tended to notice more recently as well is a lot of these adaptations, whether they're done by Japanese media or they're done by more westernized media, a lot of them seem to be ending up either taken on by Netflix or sponsored by Netflix.
Yeah.
Damn it,
I think
Netflix.
I've seen a lot more. There's been a Bleach one. There's been Full Metal Alchemist. There's been Death Note, which was obviously westernized, but the other two were in Japanese. There's been a number of other different ones that they've stuck on there. I think maybe something like Netflix is possibly more of a gateway for people to get into things like that because they don't actually have to go to the cinema and pay for a film. They don't know if they're going to like it or not.
Definitely.
However, I can then see the kind of... So I feel like a bad movie is still a bad movie. So if you're getting into watching these films as a movie to potentially then go on to watch the anime or read the manga or play the VN, if it's a terrible film, you're probably not going to want to do that. And if it's so derived from the source material, it's not going to be great.
But you are saying it's a terrible film because you know the source material.
No, I'm saying terrible film in terms of it just being a terrible movie.
You can't be objective because you know the source material. It's impossible for us to be objective about how good the films actually are because we know the source material. If we didn't know the source material, you might actually. I've watched a few films of there's been in series it's been adapted from books, for example, where people go, "Oh shit, read the book." It's like I don't want to read the book. I actually really enjoyed the film because I have no relation to the original source material, so I don't care. I don't care that it's a bad adaptation of the original book because I've never read the book. So why do I give a rat's ass? Yeah, I really enjoyed the films. It's like what's a good example? The Dark Materials one that you don't like the adaptation of.
They called it the Golden Compass.
Golden Compass, yeah. You really didn't like that because you knew the source material. I fucking loved the film because I'd never read the books before. So none of the things that bothered you bothered me. Because it's all brand new to me.
Yeah.
So that's where you got to look at.
Got a point.
But then I still really enjoy things like the Harry Potter movies and the Lord of the Rings films, and I'm able to separate those from the source material. They are different.
Not by a massive stretch. All they really do is take stuff out that they can't fit, rather than actually change things. Also, by the way, I was talking about budgets. So that the 2017 Death Note film only had a budget of $40 million.
Is that not a lot
No,
for a
that's
film?
for a film that's pathetic.
Oh, right, okay.
That's like really low.
Let's talk about the true Avatar film.
No,
Avatar Last
no,
Airbender,
I-
let's go.
No, I try to ignore its existence.
I
'cause
count
even
that
though-
as an anime adaptation.
Yeah, I count it
movie.
as anime adaptation.
Yeah, definitely is, yeah.
Have you seen, actually, on the side of that the original creators of the show are making a live-action version for Netflix as a TV show?
Yeah, they are.
I don't
Though
know how I
think
feel about it.
I think some of the crew left, though.
Did they?
Mid-making. They were like,
Oops.
no, it's not going the way we want.
Oh,
We're leaving.
dear.
That's never good.
That's not a good sign.
No, definitely not.
Oh, dear. Oh, dearie, dearie, do.
No, honestly,
It's all over.
my suggestions for you guys is don't watch them.
I mean, yeah.
Just
the
don't-
best
just-
of-
I mean,
they're not-
I haven't watched a lot, so it's not like
I genuinely, personally believe they're not designed for for the fans of the series already. So just don't watch them because you're just going to get disappointed.
There is much
uh,
disappointment in this realm.
When it comes to visual novels going to an anime, I've enjoyed some of them.
Some have been alright, yeah.
Like I know a lot of people rag on the Grisaya anime, but I personally believe if you've watched the Grisaya or read the visual novel, it's kind of a good companion next to the visual novel, because
It's got quite a good rating
you
on
get
there.
to see it all animated, and yeah, you don't see everything, not all the character developments there, but you know what that character development was, so it's not like it matters.
Yeah. Sometimes it can work in the opposite. Like if they stick to just like the main action of what goes on, then actually it's almost the opposite, where it's not really designed for someone who doesn't know the original. These adaptations can go both ways. They can either be like for a complete fresh set of eyes,
Yeah.
or you can have some which are not designed for fresh set of eyes and they're designed for people who already have a decent amount of like generic background. Clone Wars is a good example of where you can't just drop into watching it.
No, you can't.
need the background
you
information
have to know.
You need the background information from
Yeah.
the old Star Wars films. If you haven't watched episode 1, 2, and 3, it's going to make no fucking sense to you whatsoever.
You'll be like, who the fuck are these?
Yeah, exactly. So you can have adaptions that are for new people, and you can have adaptions that are for old hats who know all the characters and everything. I don't think you can get away with a middle ground adaptation, because unless your budget's huge and your movie's like 3 hours long, it's just too difficult.
True.
It's basically you using your knowledge to fill in the blanks that the adaptation doesn't cover.
Exactly.
Because you already know, so it just kind of gets straight into the story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been trying to think of an adaptation that I've watched that does that, but I haven't been able to think of many off the top of my head where they've stuff like Grisaya, where they just assume you have the knowledge and just like retell the story. But I know like games do it quite often. Yeah, they don't bother doing recaps or anything, or they do the opposite, where another game in a series you don't actually need to have played the one beforehand to carry on playing.
True.
It helps because obviously if you've got some.
But then you get
information
shit
about
like the
worlds and
Kingdom
stuff.
Hearts series, and you have no idea where you are, regardless of where you joined
No.
in.
Yeah,
No, that's just silly.
I feel like Kingdom Hearts is just terrible storytelling.
It is.
It's
I
just-
love it
it is
regardless, but it is absolutely abysmal.
It is bad. It's a meme for a reason.
Yep.
But all in all,
Hold
yeah,
on,
like
there-
my take is that anime adaptation films in general are not there for anime fans, contrary to what you'd think. But I don't think that's what they've been made for. They're made
But
to
Ellis,
pull in new people.
I've made a discovery.
Mhm.
There's a JoJo.
What, live action?
What? There's a live action
adaptation.
JoJo.
Yeah,
No!
there is.
I didn't like.
Oh no.
I didn't like JoJo anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But
I mean, I'm not
can
the
see
biggest
that
fan
being
of it,
terrible.
but I can imagine that just being awful.
There's an Ace Attorney one. What? I'm like looking up all these
Actually, you know
things
what?
right
I
now.
could see JoJo being good if they got the right director. If they got someone like Luc Besson, who did Fifth Element and all that sort of thing, because he's
someone who's like gonna do something over the top.
Yeah,
of crazy.
someone who is good at doing mad films, which he is like renowned for doing.
Yeah,
he could probably pull it off because he's got that brain behind him to do the weird and wonderful shit that you need.
Yeah, true.
So I can see JoJo working, but it's gonna need a not a normal director. If they just give it to any old random director, it's gonna be dreadful because it's batshit crazy, and it needs a batshit crazy director to make it work. I think. JoJo fans, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's right.
I forgot the Speed Racer movie.
Oh no!
The what?
The one that came out like a long time ago, like 2008-ish.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know it.
I remember.
There was a lot of like PR and stuff about it, but it was a terrible film.
I'm looking right now. I'm on the supposed list of greatest ones.
Okay, so what do they think are good ones then? Let's see if we've seen any of these good ones.
Death Note Japanese version is on there.
It's not too bad. It could be better.
Yeah,
but
that
it's
one
not terrible.
that's okay.
It doesn't have the crisp scene though.
And that's what you need.
Yeah, you need it.
Which one's that? Remind me.
I take a potato chip and I eat it.
Oh yeah. So dumb.
Yeah.
So fucking dumb.
Right. And with that, let's close out the episode.
Yep. All right, cool.
No.
Well, thank you all for stopping by and listening again. Hope you enjoyed.
Yes.
Usual shit comments. Talk to us.
You
know,
shit
No,
comment.
the usual shit comments. You know, all that sort of stuff.
Oh.
You know, leave them. Let us know if they've got any other.
Give us some interaction. We need it.
Yeah, give us some topics or something you want us to talk about. All that sort of jazz.
What are we gonna talk about?
Oh
next
no, we
time?
can probably think. Anyone got any ideas? It's always good to have a little theme to think about over the coming time.
Yeah.
I think I came up with the live action.
You did, yeah.
So
I came up with the hentai
so
one.
you guys come up with something.
It's cast turn, so I came up with
Apparently
hentai.
it's my
so,
turn. Okay, I'll think of something.
Yeah, think of something, and I'll put it in the pinned comment or something when I
All
edit the video. Cool.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Already.
I need food actually. I'm fucking starving. Right, later everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. I'm hungry too.